Aloha, my name is Deepa and welcome to Let's Evolve Together. This is your full moon in Libra reading for 2023. So welcome, I'm so excited to be here with you today. There is a lot of strong and powerful energy coming through. In fact, so much that I'm guessing this video is going to get more views than others because of the Libra energy. There's this wave of relationship energy moving through the collective. And it's sort of, when it comes in and hits, it hits right at the heart, and it moves us all emotionally deeper into ourselves as far as our memories are concerned, and nostalgia or even wounding. So there's a lot of Cancerian energy coming up here, maybe some Chiron energy moving through, and it really does have to do with nostalgia and memories. I think I'm using this in a way like looking back on what's taken place and really combing through how we participated and what we might want to change in the future going forward as far as our relationships are concerned. I think on a lot of fronts, there's a new level of intimacy coming into the picture. So I'm definitely picking up on that romantically, but also friendships, work relationships, just connections in general. There's some strong soul connections being activated. And so when we talk about coming into the depths of new intimacy with another and even with ourselves, maybe even with our spirit guides, we get possibly, some of us, triggered in new ways and old ways returning. And when we get triggered, then we start to remember, oh, okay, I'm starting to recollect when this happened before in a previous connection or relationship. How do I want to navigate this time? And what I'm guessing is that you're going to want to do it in a way that feels really integrous for you and that feels really good for you on all levels of your being, especially emotionally and through the heart. Like, you're going to want to really feel like this feels good. And so with that in mind, I think you're going to want to move away from anything toxic or confusing. One of the things that came up when I opened the Akashic Records for this full moon in Libra was rain coming down on the mind. And so with Libra being an air sign, this wasn't too much of a surprise. The mind was definitely one of the focus points of the image. And then with the rain coming down, I think the first thing that came to mind after receiving this visual clue was a little bit of anxiety and depression coming into play. Or it could be maybe that's what you're reflecting on in your past experiences. How did this situation or this level of intimacy activate my wounding, which brought me down this into like a downward spiral of confusion or depression or nervousness, something like that. So I think you're really not wanting to go there this time, but I think it's getting reactivated because a similar energy has shown up to bring you closer to yourself. So basically this new energy of intimacy comes in on any level, right? Whatever that might be for you. Romantic, friendship, business, spirit guides, whatever it is for you, however it's coming in for you, it comes in, and you're really wanting to this time have a healthy relationship with it, but it's basically wanting, it triggers those old wounds so that you can come into a higher vibration with it in that connection, through that connection. So it's here to evolve you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And you're really wanting that evolution for yourself because you're not wanting to go down those same old paths. You know they didn't serve you or the other, and you're really wanting something new this time. You're like, okay, here's the thing again, right? Here's the cycle. So this is that energy of the spiral where we learn from something, and then it comes back around to teach us again at a new level, and then again it comes back around in due timing and divine timing. It comes back around to teach us again. So I think at this point you're really getting it, and they're showing me right now that image of when you are walking down the sidewalk and there's a hole in the sidewalk and you don't see it and you fall right in. And you may do that for maybe a couple hundred lifetimes. And then finally you start to get it. And you're like, wait a minute, I don't want to go down this particular road, use this particular sidewalk because there's that hole there. And I know it's there and I always fall in it. So this time I'm going to start to go down the other sidewalk on the other side of the street, or take a different road entirely to not avoid it, but just navigate more smartly or intelligently with the energy. So it's that kind of thing that's coming up. You've learned from your mistakes or your experiences, let's say. You've learned from your experiences, and you're really wanting to do things differently this time. So I kept the false beliefs card out, if you remember, and if you follow me on Instagram, this card showed up as a energy check-in. It's a really powerful card. It showed up with the arrowhead agate, which has to do with spiritual evolution and higher spiritual lessons. And it's number 13, false beliefs. So this says, once the untruths that we believe about ourselves are illuminated, so are the ways we can release the false limitations they confine us to. And I really feel like that's the energy we're still working with this full moon in Libra. We're really ready to grow out of our own false beliefs about ourselves, and we're just wanting something more expansive and more inspiring and more positive. So we're like, God, that same old, right? So maybe this deeper intimacy has to do with you and yourself, and you're just really wanting something more out of the connection between you and yourself, you and your higher self, you and the big self, which is inside of you, your true soul self. And you're like, because I want more of that divine part of me to shine through, these false beliefs aren't supporting me anymore. They're not leading me down that path where I can start to really merge with the higher frequency that I truly came into this earth incarnation with, and I'm really wanting to share with others. So also something I wanted to bring to your attention today is this beautiful crystal that my husband got me, and I wanted to read to you. I mean, look at the detail. There's so many angles and expression, creative expression that happens through this piece. But I wanted to read to you the little description that came with it, and it's barite or barite. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Barite attracts the light and assists us in seeing beyond the veils of illusion, which is still pertaining and connecting to this card we pulled. It activates the crown and third eye chakras and helps us stay connected to our higher self in the higher realms. Barite stimulates interdimensional travel in the dream state and while meditating. And I am with this energy and just with the energy overall right now for 2023. I think this is going to go on for the entire year. Having a lot of spiritual experiences or new experiences in the realms of dreams, deeper meditations, astral traveling, lucid dreaming. This has been coming up a lot, and I feel like interdimensional travel, this would be working and connecting with spirit guides, channeling, and everything can happen in these experiences. Healing, higher wisdom can come through. You can break through blocks, you can clear timelines. So this is pretty powerful stuff. I feel like a lot of us are coming more online multidimensionally and really starting to use that in our waking life and really starting to like feel into it tangibly. So it's really exciting energy. And I think if we really want to go into those higher realms, if we really want to travel more astrally, if we really want to connect more deeply to our multidimensional selves and spirit guides, we can't do those things without working on and healing those deeper wounds that might still be playing a part subconsciously, maybe unknown to our conscious awareness, kind of cleaning up any loose ends in that department that barite always sheds. Because we want to have everything clear and grounded in the third dimension so that we can stay very connected to the earth and our physical existence, be clear there so that we can travel in astrally without fear, right? Feeling like clear connections, trust, belief, love is here to support us, and that just all of that in general raises your frequency, which keeps your energy protected when you're traveling multidimensionally. So it's really important to have all, that stuff taken care of. Not that you have to be perfect in some way, but Anyway, well, let's get into it and see how it starts to show up with the oracle decks and cards. So I have a number of decks to my left that you can't see. All have been cleared and pre-shuffled. So what I'm going to start with, because we did a twin flame reading recently that ended with one of these cards from Journey of Love by Alana Fairchild. These cards, the description in the book that comes with this deck is so deep and profound. So what I'm going to do is shuffle this deck, choose a card, but not show you yet. We'll put it on our little tripod here for this full moon in Libra 2023. And then we're going to read it at the end because it's such a beautiful way to finish off a reading. So inspiring and really just so like on point with the rest of the reading. So, okay, Spirit, I've got my spirit guides already here with me. We're going to be working together to deliver this reading today. And we've got our card. It popped right out. Okay, so I'm going to put that deck aside. I'm going to, see now we're excited because we have a Christmas present to open at the end. Or a present to open at the end. So we'll keep that there. Okay, so I just wanted to bring out the Queen, I think it's called Queen of the Moon Oracle. Yeah, Queen of the Moon Oracle. And I just wanted to see right off the bat what was coming through for this energy. So I'm going to get a couple of these for this full moon in Libra. Okay. What does she have to say? Divine Mother, what is happening? Waxing gibbous to fear. Yeah, this actually came up in the twin reading as well, and this is a number 11. So some of you may consider yourselves twin flames, or at least working on balancing your divine feminine and divine masculine internally. And I think what's coming up is opening up to your potential and your true soul self. Okay, let's see what else is coming through. Purity, snow moon. Yes, I do feel like there's the expression here. So, wow, this is awesome. The two moons are almost identical. This one's not completely full. This one looks full. This is a number 30. We have an 11 and a 3. Here she is in a ball inside of this woman. This is kind of like what she's healing. Her healing journey is focused on the inner child, on any fears of opening up, fears of expression, fears of being, fears of living your highest potential on this earth. And then in the snow moon, purity, she's got her chest and heart lifted up to the light of the full moon. There's a lot of expression happening. Her arms are back. So although she's not sure what she's opening up to because her eyes are covered by this snow, like this veil of snow, she's ready to trust. So I do feel like with this Libra full moon, there's this movement or this bridge from fear to full expression happening. And this is the card again of purity. So really clearing out, right, the timelines, clearing out the fear, healing the wounds, integrating the shadow, balancing the inner divine masculine with the inner divine feminine. And then this one, oh yeah, here's the masculine showing up right here. So maybe you're focusing on expression of and action in the world. So this would be the attributes of the masculine, whether you are in a female body or a male body, or identify with female or male. It doesn't matter. It's really about the energy. It's the part of you that wants to start taking steps in your actual physical world with what you know to be true inside for yourself intuitively. So this is the card of action, number 42. This is a 6. So we've got soulmates here in the background, or at least again, that energy coming up of nostalgia, memories, a time when maybe you were a child. So you, the part of you that's being activated and healed or being brought out into more of your conscious awareness at this time, is the divine masculine aspect of you. So the part of you that will be taking steps, action steps in the physical world. And this is true with these other two cards, going from I can't show myself to I'm ready to express even though I don't know where this is going. This is the energy of allowing the divine masculine to show himself in the world, to show true colors, to take off the masks, to be courageous through fear, to be fully expressing what they know to be true on an intuitive level. So really allowing the true soul self to merge out into the world that you live in, which is quite a big step as far as being willing to let go of the ramifications of that, however that shows up in your world, or just facing your own fears of how that might show up. How are people going to react to you showing your true colors? What might that be like? Will you lose friends? Will you have to change careers? I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes with that. And I feel like, you're really ready to let go of false beliefs about yourself. Regardless, you just don't want to live in this protective state anymore, where you're just constantly protecting yourself and shielding yourself from external weather coming from outside energies, energies in your environment that have a strong effect on you. Just ready to shed all that, step out with true colors, take the mask off, and just be yourself. So this is some really strong energy. Definitely relates to what I was picking up on as far as like coming into a new level of intimacy with yourself and with others and with spirit. So I think all this is very aligned. So we'll see if we can leave these cards out as far as how much room we have on the table for today. And I just want to see intuitively where they're going to go with this next. So, I did forget to do the pick a pile here. So I think what I'll do is I do have the cards, the deck's out. So I think what I'll do is create the pick a piles at the end, and then you can pick from them. So yeah, we are having a little bit of mystery with this reading today. Interesting. Well, let's see what the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck has to say, because I feel like we are working with a lot of unknowns. But just so you know, with full moon energy, things are illuminated. The light of the full moon tends to act like a magnet that pulls something out of our psyche or hearts to it, and it surfaces. And when it surfaces, we're like, I know that's what this is about. And we recognize it, and then we can move forward and work with it in the way we feel would be best for us at that time. But it can be a really strong emotional time. So sometimes the energy also reminds you to take it easy, to step back, to observe yourself, and to try not to react. Those are some important tips that come often with full moons. So Spirit, can you show us a card? What's this mystery about? Wow. Tin. Stanum. This is 21. This is the World card in the Major Arcana of the Tarot. I've also got some Jupiter energy here. Let me check this out. And then you've got colors coming from tin. So this feels like life coming from an inert object. And if you're at the end of a cycle, starting a new cycle, I could see that happening for sure. Malleable, expansive, Jupiter, yes. Okay, we do, we have it. Okay, be like tin today. If a good cry or wail needs to be heard, let it happen. It'll release the pressure in the laboratory and you'll have a whole new perspective. So this feels like with this full moon energy, something's about to be released, right? With full moons, we always have a letting go and a big release. This is a time of completion. So that is what it's picking up on here. Tin is a silvery white, highly malleable metal. This is also the energy of frequencies coming in from galactic sources that are fresh and new for us to work with. This is coming through. This is in part because tin's structure is composed of crystals in cubic or tetragonal formations that can be broken or crushed under moderate pressure. When the crystalline structure breaks, a sound known as the tin cry can be heard, hence the unnerving sound of crinkling tinfoil. Such is the energy of the tin card. On one hand, it is in tin's Jupiterian nature to expand, to mobilize, to cover the whole territory. On the other hand, the metal cannot withstand much weight or pressure. When this card appears, you may have reached a limit or a breaking point, getting some throat chakra clearing here, after taking one more than is logistically possible under the circumstances, something like the straw that broke the camel's back, don't take this juncture personally. So yes, step back and observe. More strength is required before taking next steps to support the expansion you see in your mind's eye. Interesting. In esoteric wisdom traditions, Jupiter and Tin are associated with the liver. It's possible the liver may have a wise message to reveal, perhaps about excess and keeping things in balance. Wow, very interesting. Reflect to bring illumination. Love it. That is so cool. I've never seen that card come through before. So it is the energy of Jupiter and expansion. It is the energy of completion, something finishing for you, maybe a karmic cycle completing in order for you to be able to come through loud and clear with your divine masculine expression in the world. So yeah, I do feel like we're at a bridge here where we're moving from what was holding us back, turning that into compost for what will propel us forward and out. So wow, that is really interesting. Where can we put that? Okay, let's see where they want to go next. I'm feeling tarot a lot, so let's get the energy cards. I'm trying to energy oracle cards. I'm trying to get better at telling you all the names of these decks. I always forget, so I have to look at the deck box. So what energy are we working with here? I mean, we're kind of getting clear here. What else do you want to tell us about this full moon in Libra? Yeah, so woman holding a heart for sure. 44 under the 11 with fear. New levels of intimacy, definitely showing itself there. Expressing your heart. Maybe you're ready to tell someone something. Maybe there's something you've held back. Maybe you're ready to believe in love again. The sun, definitely. Wow, this is gorgeous energy. Still feeling the energy of Jupiter here in the state of expansion and the thinking man. Here's a 1, here's a 10. Again, we have the energy of completion as 10 breaks down to a 1 in numerology, and we have a 44. So let's feel into these. What's at the bottom of the deck? Anxiety. Definitely that was coming up, right? Right away when I opened the reading from the Akashic Records, we got anxiety. This is an 18, which brings down to a 9. So you are feeling like, especially with the thinking man, we have to be careful with this Libra energy and full moon that we don't over amp ourselves as far as the mind is concerned. Again, step back and observe and make sure you're doing your self-care over the next couple weeks. Starting now, getting that time, trying to get yourself, if you can, by a large body of water, sit, do some reflection, some journal writing possibly, or just spending extra time in meditation, connecting with source. That'll really ground your energy and clear the mind. If you have a hard time keeping the mind focused in meditation, turn on some beautiful Hindu mantras and chants, maybe some kirtan on YouTube. Om Namah Shivaya mantra, the Shiva mantra, can be really helpful in balancing the mind and clearing the mind. And you can look up Om Namah Shivaya on YouTube to hear some chanting that'll really calm the mind and harmonize the energies through the mind and the nervous system. I'll put it in the description box below so you know how to spell it if you've never heard of it before. But Om Namah Shivaya starts with an Om and ends with Shiva. It means I bow with respect to my inner self. I bow with respect to consciousness, which is known as Shiva in the Hindu tradition. So yeah, definitely watching out for too much thinking, too much energy in the head. Get grounded, get in your physical body, do some exercise. That'll really help too. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So I feel like with the cards here of coming out of the shell, making a bridge to full heart expression, you're really looking at here expressing love to someone else, or finally expressing a truth to yourself. But something's coming out with this Libra full moon. Something's coming out of the closet. You're ready to own something. That's what I'm hearing with this. Again, this could be a truth shared with yourself. This doesn't have to be with another person. It could be with another person if that that's what resonates with you. So just go with the timeline, the storyline that resonates with you the most, and the message that follows. So with the Sun card, I'm just getting like a pure elation, joy, and jubilee. This energy of jubilee has been coming up a lot lately, and it's like you're ready to be yourself. And that this is the energy of the divine masculine. The Sun represents the masculine. There's a baby here being held. I can't tell what's on top, but there's a scarf here holding an infant. There's a bird in a cage down here. There's a trumpet. There's lotuses. Looks like a disc. She's holding a disc. So that reminds me of Vishnu. There's a book here, and Vishnu is the creator. So you have Shiva, the destroyer, Vishnu, the creator, Brahma, the creator, and Vishnu, the sustainer. That's what it is. Vishnu, the sustainer. Sustaining life force energy. There's a paintbrush here. I feel like this is expression of self. This is stepping into power. This is allowing the inner child to play and be creative in your physical world. We got music, the paintbrush, higher learning, the fish here representing Pisces energy, connection to your higher self, like the koi pond, the lotuses. That's the energy of growing out of the muck. That's the energy of the yogi, the path of the yogi or the yogini, where we use our past to grow our futures. So it's growing and evolving out of the heaviness of life into the more subtle, the more pure. It's this energy right here, from fear to purity. So really coming out with that divine masculine energy, starting something new with the one. And again, this is, reflection on the past to bring forth this energy of where do I want to go with this now. But I don't think the action steps are coming in quite yet. There's a lot of reflection going on, which is why we keep getting this thinking energy, this this advice from spirit, guidance from spirit to keep stepping back and observing, to journal, to reflect. All that's coming up a lot. I don't feel a lot of initiation. I feel a lot of reflection, planning, thinking. So I think be careful with any outbursts emotionally. Process things instead internally first. That's kind of what it feels like with this energy. Also, he's holding this really magnificent crystal, if you can see here. So we again have the energy of the crystals inside the material of the tin, or what the tin is made of. And remember, that was Jupiterian energy and this energy of wanting to expand. So maybe you're thinking of how you want to express yourself in the world. I think you are. That's what's been coming up this whole time. We have feathers here to represent spirit guides or being guided by spirit. So there's that intuitive knowing, like I know this is my path. I know this is my next step. And kind of processing how you want it to all go, how you want it to look, and how you want it to come to fruition. So you're really coming out, like I said, of the closet here, maybe as a light worker, maybe sexually you're coming out of the closet in some way. Maybe you're wanting to express yourself in a love connection in a new way somehow. You're wanting to have all kind of new connection altogether, maybe something more soul-led, more divine. There's a lot happening here that has to do with higher frequency activation, coming back to the 10 here with galactic guidance, bringing us into higher incarnations of ourselves in this lifetime. So being reborn, there's the energy of rebirth, being new, becoming new. That's this energy here with the sun and the infant, becoming new again, being reborn. I think I said that like 8 times. Let's see. Connected to our higher self and the higher realms, higher dimensional travel. There's this energy of restlessness coming up a lot. And if you allow that nervous, that restless energy, that excess energy, which Jupiter can really get going inside of us, you've got to channel it. Channel the excess energy, because we could get very restless, and then it goes to the mind and we get anxious or nervous, or the mind just starts to go in circles. So channel it through exercise, through journaling, or through a creative project, however you feel inspired. ground yourself, ground yourself, ground yourself. That's really going to help right now. I'm just going to have to pull this. Attachments with contracts. So contracts coming up for review, looking at why are we attached? Wow, this card is really powerful. There's a small being sitting here on this stool. There's a chain connecting this post where the small being is sitting. Maybe that's the inner child or a shadow self sitting there on the post. There's a chain connecting from that post to her wrist. She's like, how have I lived through my shadow? She's taking off this mask. There's a lot of change, number 5, happening here. We're letting go of attachments. We're wanting to take off the mask, heal the wound, heal the inner child. This is big stuff. Contracts are up for review. Another 6. Our other 6 was this 42, divine, the masculine, stepping into power. Justice card, right? This is contracts, things coming, clarity coming, fairness coming, justice coming with contracts, a reevaluation of contracts, rewriting contracts. I almost feel like after this reading, you should journal with everything that came up for you and start to put some puzzle pieces together, because there's just so many details. And I think with any air sign, you're going to get details. This reminds me of Mercury energy, writing, needing to get it out on paper so you can be clear in your mind. So there's just a lot coming through. So before I do the tarot, they want me to pull one of these. What do we need to know, Spirit? What is the guidance for this Libra full moon? Shuffling. Libra full moon. What do you want to show us? What do you want us to see? What do you want us to see? Aphrodite, feminine power. I embrace my sensuality and deepen my inner love, that intimacy. I seek the beauty in everything. Seeing life with new eyes, that's an intimacy too. When we have this perspective of, wow, look at everything around me. Look at everything I have. So there's that gratitude energy as well. There's a new intimate connection with our environments when we see through those fresh eyes, and we bring in this deepening. How can we live more in love with our environments, with our worlds, and in connection with Source and ourselves, and come to a new way of expression through those new eyes, through that deep connection with self and Source? How can we be creative in the expression of that? And that's the Empress energy. So we also have, like I said, we've got feminine and masculine coming up here. We have divine feminine, divine masculine power. So what they're saying is, this is just as much about the feminine as it is about the masculine. And of course it is, because we have Libra energy. So we have the masculine and feminine polarity showing up here, wanting to come into balance with the Justice card. So we're coming into balance internally. This is big stuff. This is new earth energy. This is really wanting to step out of the shadow. And this is super powerful. So I just feel like this came up a couple readings ago. I'm not sure when or how or what reading. It was just this energy of, look at where you're at and how far you've come. And this massive congratulations from Spirit about this new level that's achieved, and the result, what's coming out as a result of that. This is very big stuff. This is huge evolution, monumental growth in a short period of time. Just major, like, congrats from the spirit realm. So let's pull some tarot and see what's coming up here specifically. So let's see what we've got. We want both of these. The World in reverse, the Page of Wands in reverse. By the way, just been getting nonstop reversals. I cannot do anything about it. We're about to enter Mercury's shadow. Mercury's going to go into retrograde around the 20th of April, and we're already getting it. And I said this with the reading I did on Instagram Live. It was a heads up. Mercury retrograde is strong this time through, and it probably has to do with this full moon in Libra as well. Knight of Cups upright. Okay, that's interesting. Ace of Wands in reverse. So let's look at the bottom of the deck, the wheel. Okay, yeah. So just in general, I'm going to tell you right now, with this Mercury retrograde, with everybody doing so much processing on the past, memories, relationships, connections, it's going to be shocking if some of you don't get some sort of message from somebody you used to be in a connection or relationship with. This energy is coming through really strong. It might just show up in your dreams, being as etheric as this horse is showing up here with the Celtic Tarot. This is called the Universal Celtic Tarot. We've got a lot of energy in the astral realms that comes through this deck. Ancestors, spirit guides, animal spirits, connection to earth, pagan practices and rituals. There's a strong connection to the seasons. This is elemental energy. So if that person or that energy doesn't show up in real life, it could be coming through dreams just as strongly. Those messages coming through the subconscious, dreams or therapy work as you go deep into the subconscious for retrieval of what's it called? Wounding or whatever was whatever's been buried deep in the subconscious that needs to come to the surface. This could be different aspects of you. So if you had trauma or wounding in the past, there might have been this tendency subconsciously to separate pieces of yourself out from the main consciousness that you are. So pieces of yourself could be orphaned out that are wanting to be welcomed back home into your wholeness, all of your consciousness coming together as one. So there's a lot here with therapy work coming up. Remember, we've got the solar and the lunar eclipses coming. That energy is already going on here. With Scorpio lunar eclipse, which is in May, there's the energy, and I've already mentioned this too in previous readings, of doing or wanting to do readings, energy work, healing work, therapy work, past life regression, Akashic Record work. It's all coming up. In whatever way you feel drawn to or connected to or resonates with you the most, there is some deep diving, some Scorpio stuff that's going to be part of this whole wave that's coming through. So if you're wanting more answers, if you're wanting more pieces of your own puzzle, reach out for a reading, a personal reading. You can go to my website, let'sevolvetogethertarot.com. If you're feeling really connected to this energy, and you can choose what kind of reading you would like. But in general, you just may be feeling like, I want to deep dive. I want to see what I've been propelled as far as my actions. What's motivating my actions? What questions can I be asking myself as far as self-inquiry is concerned? What parts of me need love, need attention? And maybe we should pull from the What Should I Ask Myself deck. I feel like, and I said this the other day in the live on Instagram, in order for this cycle to come into full completion, where was the world card that we also got before? It was the world number 21. It was this one. Okay. So here we go again, another 21. So we did get that world energy again in the tarot show up. It was this one first. This is a number 21. If you want to have this cycle, this karmic cycle, come into full completion and integration for you, right? For you, karmic contracts cleared, for instance. There may be something you've got to handle or solve or come to conclusion with within. Could be with another, that's for you to choose, so that you can move on with your new beginning. I know you're being inspired to go a new direction. I almost feel like there's something that needs to be gone over again. Can you read through that material one more time? Mercury retrograde will often ask us to look at the very fine details of any contracts. So if you have soul contracts, maybe they're not written right in real life. Maybe this isn't about a marriage. Maybe this is about a divine connection. Reviewing those soul contracts. Go into meditation with your spirit guides, your trusted spirit guides. Ask what needs reviewed in your soul contracts. Ask what needs to be healed or released or seen. Ask and intend how you would like those contracts to go moving forward. Do you want to dissolve them? Do you want to renew them? What do you want in those fine details? Go over them. That's what I'm getting. Go over them in detail. Because I feel like the Wheel of Change this is a fortunate change with the Wheel of Fortune. Again, another 10. So far, we've got a lot of completion energy here with 10s. The Thinking Man was one of them. completing this cycle, we need to go in and do some reflection. I don't know if that was it. It just kept coming up in general with the world as well, with completion energy. Yeah, I mean, you're wanting to come out of feeling trapped. You're wanting change for yourself and for the other person. There's some sort of completion here, loose ends that need tied up, whatever way that needs to happen for you. I don't know. I'm not egging you on in any way. This is what's in the energy. I'm just reading this energy. Okay, let me check the time. Okay. Yeah, you want to be in your power. You want to be in your power. You want to be in your strength. You want to focus on something fresh and new. I could keep going. I think if this is what you want, and I know it is, I know you want that new cycle for yourself. You want the Wheel of Fortune to turn in your favor. It's happening. But this Mercury retrograde is just wanting you to slow down. That's coming. It's just wanting you to slow down and reflect. And this full moon in Libra is going to bring to your attention what is wanting your reflection and observation, and maybe some licking of old wounds right now. You're coming into your power. This is part of that process. You can't skip steps, right? The universe doesn't necessarily let you skip steps. I'm always saying that. And it's true. I found that true for myself in my own life. I'm always I want to be here. Okay, well, let's get back into the process. I'm always reminded to slow down, to get deep into process, to dive in and see, what is this about for me? How am I reacting to this? How am I moving through my life with this? If we rush, we miss those fine details that lead to deep, lasting change and deep transformation for our soul self. So you don't want to skip parts. Okay, so let me, if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a sip of water and ground myself really quick, because I feel like the energy is super, like I said, it's going up to the head, and I'm just feeling that. Okay, so I'm just gonna, and if you want to do it with me, let's just get grounded. Thinking of some really strong roots right now, extending down from my earth star chakra deep into the core of the earth. And just, it's interesting because I put on an oil today that was really sweet and grounding. Just reaching these healthy roots deep down into the center of the earth, connecting with a crystal that will ground our energy, balance our energy at this time, harmonize our energy. And that's exactly what Spirit's wanting from us, okay? So periodically through your day, if you need to do that, step back, ground, connect with Spirit, connect with self, connect with the earth. Even if you need to like sneak away and hide yourself in the bathroom, okay? Just take the time. You see how the energy is completely shifted now? It's really important, and it'll really help you stay on track, and I think you'll be really proud of yourself too if you do it, okay? Okay, so let's pull some cards, and then we're going to create our pick-a pile too. Ooh, yeah, look at that. The Wolf, authenticity. You're wanting to, in a healthy way, take control of your instinctual nature. This is Saturn kind of setting some guidelines, some discipline. This is an 18. So we've got, this is a 17, so we got the number 8. So there's still energy here of, the 8 of Pentacles here, focusing on how you want to move forward from here. And this is the energy of self-expression. You see with the 8, this is about, how do I want to channel my energy? How do I want to be creative, and how do I want to express that? And I feel like Spirit's And the spirit animal, wolf, is helping to set some guidelines for that. And for this process that's wanting to be moved through and dived deep into. Okay, let me see. I don't think I pulled from this deck yet. No. All right, what do you got for us, Spirit? Where's that root chakra energy and another 9? Duality, many meanings, and misunderstanding. That's interesting. We've got, she's holding a skull here. This reminds me of Scorpio energy. And we were just picking up on that. We've got the energy of duality, feminine, masculine, showing up a lot through this reading. Justice. The energy of self-fulfillment, self-reflection, spiritual self-assessment. What is this about? Clearing up any misunderstandings, innovation, new creation. Duality, many meanings, misunderstanding. So be careful not to misinterpret or project onto the other. Okay, I feel like this is, be careful not to see through the lens of your wounding and then project through that onto the other person. There can be a lot of misunderstandings had through that kind of thing. And I think you're wanting something more than that. And look at this again with the justice energy. This is like the justice card to me. And that's that 2, the balance of the 2. This is Libra energy right here. This is working together, compromise, seeing each other's side, clarity of vision, hearing each other out, each having a voice, doing what's best for both. There's a lot of that coming up with Libra energy. Healthy relationship dynamics, allowing everyone to have a say. It's that kind of thing. In any level of relationship, okay? Awesome reading today, you guys. It's like supercharged, supercharged. Okay, let's, I just want to look at my decks and make sure I got it all. Okay, let's do this one. What do our galactic ancestors want us to know right now? What do our galactic ancestors want us to know? Oh, the whole family's there. Ascended Masters, Council of Light, Divine Orchestration. There are helpers in the subtle realms. So look to your helpers. Definitely ask for help. And we got a lot of Syrian energy here with the Ascended Masters coming through. Anna, the grandmother of Jeshua, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. Look at that. You've got the pyramid, the Sphinx in the background, the pyramids. Wow. Ask for help from your spirit guides at this time. This is all part of the divine plan. This is being divinely orchestrated. This is so that you come more deeply and closer to your true power. This is so you become aligned with your true soul self and how you want to express that in this life. But this is to allow you to claim more of your own consciousness and your own divine power and be able to share that with authenticity in the world and how you move forward with your next life cycle. Because remember, this is about completing one karmic cycle and moving into that divine light, seeding the light. This is the foundation. We're walking that bridge, going from being motivated by shadow or being motivated by light, or being able to hold in a non-detached way, being able to hold without control in an open, surrendered way, the integration of our shadow and light and how that expresses itself in our lives. So that's epic. Okay, let's pull one of these before we do our pick-a-pile. Okay, Spirit, what's the guidance? What's the encouragement? We've got clearing. Oh, I love it. As true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. you start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine, mine, mine to God's, God's, God's. Such freedom. Wow, I absolutely love that. Definitely some clearing going on and opening up to God's will, not my will. That's beautiful. Okay, so we've got 3 decks for the pick a pile here. Okay, Spirit, we are going to make 3 piles. We're going to start with pile 1. Starting with pile 1. What shadow energy are we working with here? What do we need to know from the subconscious for pile 1? Thank you. Okay, let's clear this. And what do we need to know from the subconscious for pile 2, Spirit? What do we need to know? Let's clear that. And what do we need to know from pile 3, Spirit? That came out pretty quickly. Okay, and Moonology. What does Moonology have to say for pile 1, Spirit? Let's clear that. What does Moonology have to say for pile 2? And what does Moonology have to say, oopsie, for pile 3? Okay, and then guidance from our ancestors for pile 1. Guidance from our ancestors. We got a bunch here. I gotta reshuffle. Okay, let's clear that. And what do we need to hear from our ancestors for pile 2? And now pile 3. All right. Wow, awesome. Look at those. These cards are so cool. This deck is by Kyle Gray. If you don't know, Ancestors, what's it called? Angels and Ancestors, I believe. Let me check. I don't see it. I don't know where I put it. Oh, you know what? I do want to do one more deck for you. I want to do what should I ask myself at this time? I'm just reorganizing the deck. The pile choices, not the pile choices, but the cards within the piles. I just want them to go in a certain order. Okay, and what should they ask themselves at this time? So, Archangel Michael, would you please clear this deck? Prepare for the energies of the Libra full moon of 2023 for this pick a pile. Piles 1, 2, and 3. I love that Ganesh showed up with clearing because we had so many Hindu deities show up today. It's really beautiful with Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, Ganesha. I was holding the energy of Parvati, the Divine Mother, or Shakti in my mind. Okay, pile 2, what do they need to ask themselves? Let's clear it. Pile 2, what do they need to ask themselves? And pile 3, what do they need to ask themselves? Okay. That'll be that. All right, let's put this one here. So now you guys know how I do this before the camera gets turned on. All right, you got to see it in action. Okay, so here's pile 1. Here's pile 2. Sorry about the mess. I think it bugs me more than you, most likely. And here's pile 3. Okay, let's get into it. Pile 1, what does your subconscious want to tell you? Wow, number 5, radical self-love. Beautiful. We can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. Oh, that message. It's just gorgeous. We can only receive love to the extent that we unconditionally love and live the truth of ourselves. She's got the earth here in her arms, cloak. This is like grandmother wisdom coming through, I feel. Okay, what should you ask yourself at this time? Am I fully claiming my authority? And this is the badger, and it says defend. Am I fully claiming my authority? You may have to set some boundaries. Claim your energy. Take back your energy, right? Moonology says, show the world the real you. And remember, there's an expression of live the truth of ourselves here. So you're really in this clan of coming out of that shell, expressing yourself, being yourself, coming out of the closet. And then Spirit's guidance for you, pile 1. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. definitely. And that actually came up, and I think it was the weekly reading I just did on Instagram. I'm not totally sure, but it was just yesterday, I think, so it had to have been. If you want to take a picture of that pile 1, that's your mini reading for the full moon of Libra 2023, or whenever you find this reading, that'll work. But for you, it's definitely about claiming your power and standing in it and expressing through it. But there's the balance here. I mean, you're honoring your inner knowing. That's the divine feminine, and the divine masculine acts on that inner knowing by expression. Beautiful. So I think we're going to keep these subconscious messages on the top. Okay, so beautiful. Okay, pile 2, you ready? What is your subconscious telling you, pile 2? Number 15, okay, so it says distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. Wow. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. So know what's driving you. Know what's driving your choices. Why? What are your motivations? Are they driven through shadow or light? That was coming up. Number 6 here with the 15 broken down. This could be about relationships for you, pile 2. Okay. What should you ask yourself, pile 2? It says map, the compass plant. Which course takes me home? So if you're having trouble knowing which direction to go, ask yourself, which course takes me home? Why am I wanting this? What is my true need here? If it's about a relationship, why do I really want this? Those are big questions right now with this Libra full moon. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius, definitely. Look at the bigger picture here. Is this leading you home? This choice, this connection, this relationship, this desire, is this leading you to where you ultimately want to go, to the bigger picture and to what you see for yourself, to your highest potential, to your most feel-good place? And then your guidance is mountains, stand your ground. Pile 1 got something about standing your ground too. So yeah, take your power back, stand your ground. Look at the bigger picture to get a better perspective. Try to step back and observe yourself, get into that self-inquiry a little bit. Which course takes me home? What's motivating me in this direction? Is it true? Is it pure? That kind of thing. So that's big stuff, you guys, big stuff. So if you want to take a picture, and then we'll do pile 3. So you guys, taking a look at distorted desires, getting clear, which path takes you home? All right, pile 3, you ready? Here we go. Final pile here, and then we'll finish with our, what is it? Journey of love, that's what it was. Okay, I don't want to forget that. Okay, so you guys, pile 3, trusting tricksters. And number 6 again, there's a vine tying you to this flower being given by the fox. Trusting tricksters. The trickster's only power is your trust. You are always free to withdraw it. So, there may be a trickster in your midst, and you may have to use your discernment to sniff them out. The trickster's only power is your trust. You're always free to withdraw it. This could also be your ego trying to run the show. Can you sniff out, okay, I know I have this desire for A, B, C, but is that really good for me? Or is my shadow self trying to, protect me through this action it wants me to take, through this choice it wants me to take? So this is why it's important to have a guide or some sort of therapist if you can't quite navigate the depths of your wounding on your own. It can be very, very tricky. The trickster, the ego can trick you. It can protect you and defend you just for survival. So being able to navigate that kind of thing on your own can be like trying to see clearly through dense fog. It can be very tricky. What should you ask yourself at this time? Am I singing my song? The warble. Am I singing my song? Is this what's meant for me? Is this how I want to show myself in the world? Does this lead me toward happiness, toward purity of myself, who I know myself to be deeply on the inside? Okay, Moonology says you and your loved ones are safe. So if you're concerned or having anxiety or worry, You and your loved ones are safe. And then what's the final guidance? Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Enjoy growth. I feel like this is about you with the ego, or the limited ego, or the ego trying to control you through self-protection or survival skill mechanisms or tactics. And I feel like it's encouraging you to go on that journey towards soul growth and personal growth right now. We have a new moon in Cancer here. This is about healing. This is about healing the inner child, nurturing the inner child, reparenting yourself, all that coming up. And then through your growth, the reward is you will be singing your song, your true soul song, expressing your true soul self in your life. And it's this process of going into the healing journey that I feel like they're wanting you to move into and through. Like, go within, start the journey, or keep going on your journey, or deepen the journey if you're already on it. There's more to sniff out. That's what I'm getting for you guys. So that's pile 3 if you want to take a picture. Okay. Wow, thank you. Let's read our final surprise card and see how it connects. This is my favorite part. Let's see how it connects with our full moon and Libra reading we've done so far. Wow, number 46, again a 10, just for a moment, joy. And here's that same image of the woman coming, the very first cards we picked. Arms back, heart out, chest up, light coming down onto the heart. Mirror image there. Just expression of the heart. So let's see what this says in the book, okay? Number 10. Gotta find the book. It's buried. Okay, got it. Buried under 5 decks and other books. Number 46, again, the energy of completion, completing a cycle. Okay. Here we go. What we feel and express, what we choose at any given time, is our offering to the divine cosmic matrix. It germinates and is reflected back to us as manifestation in this material reality. Can you choose to gentle your heart, to let it be open to light and to life, even if just for a moment? If you are in the midst of darkness or deep suffering, if you are in the midst of darkness of deep suffering, can you find even just for a moment the joy of existence underneath it? It is a wild ride, this life. Every time you open your arms in yes, the universe responds in kind. This oracle brings you a message. In this moment, trust that there is joy waiting to be felt and found, no matter how hard that may be to believe right now. Let go of your attachment. There we had attachment. To the apparent problems at hand as much as you can, and you will be allowing yourself to let the divine take over and sort out what needs to happen here. Remember, that was God's will, not thy will. That was the Ganesh clearing card. So this is again about that attachment, clearing that attachment. And there was that distorted desire coming up, clearing that distorted desire. There is help awaiting your invitation always. So here's those help cards. We're getting a lot of confirmations here. Why not let it in and let joy in too? You're being offered divine support to live a less guarded existence, to dissemble yourself a little or a lot and let your true nature, which is joy, bubble to the surface. And that's what this full moon is going to bring to the surface, what's right for you, without rhyme or reason other than just because it lives. So here's a poem here. Love is magic, like a balmy breeze. On a winter night, it feels so good. You want it to last forever. And love is magic because we make it so, by opening to the pleasure of being alive and sharing the joy we feel. And when we're not looking, the night may warm again. Wow. Yes, and I feel like this really has to do with this radical self-love that we got here in pile 1. And also, most importantly here, Aphrodite coming through, Shakti coming through, feminine power. I embrace my sensuality, and deep in my inner love, I seek the beauty in everything. So finding the joy within it, the gratitude, and what's under the surface, looking deeper. And this full moon is really going to pull it out. Remember I said this is going to be like a magnet, pulling something to the surface from your deep within your subconscious, pulling it to the surface of your conscious awareness or pulling it to the surface of your heart. So something's being pulled out. Maybe it's a shadow aspect. Maybe it's something that's been driving you that is not in alignment with you anymore. Whatever it might be, that's why this can be very emotional, and that's why we need to stay really grounded right now and not get into the head. So remember to keep your spiritual toolkit close. Keep yourself in your body, clear in the mind. Remember to connect to chanting if you need help with that, harmonizing the energies. And let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're doing, how you resonated with this. If you think it's going to help someone else as well, please share. Please like and subscribe for more. And please go to letsevolvetogethertarot.com to get a personal reading. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Love to you. Bye.